Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Debate of the Week. Now this is the first installment in a series that I'm doing, how to reconstruct the different divisions in both TNA and WWE. Now this one is a two-parter. Part one will be how I will bring back people and let people go in the division I'm going to be mentioning. The next part will be what storylines I believe might work for each individual person or group of people that will be in each division of each company. Now this, I know that sounds like a mouthful. This is for the knockouts, for TNA. Now what this Debate of the Week is about who would I keep, who would I release, and that would be it. And the reasons why I would do it. The next video will be about their storylines, if storylines need to be continued, if storylines need to be constructed. This is how I do it. If TNA decided like this, we are going to 100% reconstruct our 100% of our knockouts. If we're just going to scrap how we do our knockouts and rebuild them, we're not going to show them on TV, and we're just going to rebuild from scratch the belt, the storylines, and who will be in it. This is what I do. First thing, the women are currently on the roster, because you currently have Velvet Sky, and this is counting the people who are there but not even seen. I'm saying all the people are there. You got Velvet Sky, you got Mickie Jane, you got SoCal Val, you got Hendrix, you currently have ODB, Gail Kim, Miss Tessmacher, Terrell, Christy Hemme, and Brooke Hogan. If there's anyone else I'm missing, I'm sorry. But these are generally the people that are currently on the roster for TNA at this moment. Now, who are the ones I would keep? Who are the ones I would release? And who are the ones that will bring out either independent or are from the other companies or company, which generally will be from WWE. I'm going to say it right now. Between these two companies and the series that I'm going to be doing for this Debate of the Week, I'm going to be doing a lot of them. I'm going to be interchanging most of the roster from both sides. Why would I do that? It's simple. Many people already know most of the roster from both sides. There's no way to deny it. The TNA roster and the WWE roster are already known by fans no matter what universally. So bringing in some people who are independent will be important. But the most important thing is that the ones that are currently here can still be viable, are still viable. And these are the ones I'm going to focus on more. There might be a subsequent video after the second video I will do on this series for the knockouts of anyone that is independent that I'll be doing some research on, that I will say maybe they could be as well brought into this. But right now, these are the people I'm going to keep, release, or bring in that have already been fired from both companies. First thing, I would keep the originals. I would keep Velvet Sky. There is no reason to get rid of her. Yes, she needs work, and I'm going to justify the reason why I'm bringing her. She's a very good-looking woman who has some good mic skills. Not great, but good. In-ring works needs some work, and I will describe what would need to be done for her in the next video. But keeping her there is very important. She's one of the staples of for the knockouts. There is no reason why I should get rid of her. One person I believe needs to be released is Gail Kim. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that Gail Kim has basically sucked the life out of the knockouts. It feels like the X Division. The knockouts were doing very well until basically Gail Kim came back and sucked the life out of them, and it felt like the X Division. Pretty much that's how it felt. It was revolving around one woman. Now, I do have to say that Miss Horseface, as the Off the Rope show would say, Karen Jarrett, was adding to that. Still, Gail Kim, who is the most prominently featured woman there, really killed the knockouts. I keep thinking X Division because it really makes me think of it. I would get rid of Gail Kim. Let her go independent completely. Let her go into the independent. Let her go to ROH. Doesn't matter. She's not going to be on the roster of TNA. Not at all. Now, Tessmacher should stay as well. She's an up-and-coming. She has a lot of charisma. She's very beautiful. She has very good ring skill. She improved over a year or so of the time when she was considered a secretary until she became a wrestler and won the Knockouts Championship. She really improved quite a lot. So there's no reason to get rid of her. In fact, it is necessary to keep her there so we can have very good storylines because she can probably pull it off. Another person that I would keep would be Tara. Now, Tara has been known a long time. She even feuded with Lita. I don't know why I said Layla. She feuded with Lita. She feuded very well with Lita. And it's very important to keep a person that is very well known in the business there. She is one of the oldest of the Knockouts division wrestlers. A second one in line would be Mickie Jane. I do not want Mickie Jane to go back to WWE. No. Mickie Jane going back to WWE would be the worst thing I would do. Releasing her either to go to independence or for her to go to the WWE would be wrong. Mickie Jane could not shine the way she deserves to shine there. She will shine right here in TNA. And I'll explain in the next video what I would probably do with her. Now, the people that I would release next to Gail Kim. I thought about this, and a person I really love a lot. I'm not going to lie about this. I love ODB. And a lot of people would say, you're not actually thinking of releasing her. Yes, I am. I do love ODB, but I also realize that ODB has become heavily stale. Now, I could say, and I'm sure many people are going to say, then give her a storyline. She's a TNA girl. Yes, that's true. But I believe she would be better off somewhere else for now. And I'll explain that in the other video for the WWE. It's obvious that that makes sense what I'm saying right there. If you hadn't realized what I'm saying, you just figured it out that I would put ODB in WWE. I'm going to say that right now. I'm still going to repeat it when I do that series on the WWE Divas, but I would put ODB there. If I could tell her, look, honey, you become stale. I know you want to expand yourself. Go to WWE. Go there. This is what I would tell her. And then I would squeeze her boobs and give her a kiss on the cheek and say, I love you. Take care of yourself. Actually, I wouldn't just squeeze them. I suck them. But I'm not trying to be nasty, ladies and gentlemen. To women, I'm not trying to be nasty to you. I know there are women that look at these reviews, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. This is just my feeling towards her. Because I've seen some of her interviews, and she's actually quite a nice person. Very nice, kind of no nonsense, very sweet when she wants to be, and very sexy. And I'm just saying how I feel. I'm not a very nasty, sexist person. Now, these are the people that I would keep. Now, the people I would bring back that used to be there, one of them would be Angelina Love. Now, I'm sure maybe there are a couple of people who didn't like Angelina Love, and there's a ton of them who do. I saw Angelina Love's work. She's actually not bad. She wasn't bad on the mic, and she wasn't bad in her in-ring work. She wasn't. So I would bring her back. She would be one of those people I would go to her personally and say, look, from a real name, I forgot what her name is, I'm sorry. I'm just going by her handle. And I would tell her, please come back. I need you back in TNA. You were one of the staples that really made the Knockouts work. Really, it would work with you. And I'd bring her back. She's one of those people I would love to have back. Now, actually, I forgot someone that needs to be released. I had actually thought about keeping her. But you know what? It's better to release her as well. And that would be Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne has been around for quite a while. She was with the beautiful people. I would send Madison Rayne off somewhere else. I'm not going to say if she's going to go to Independence or to WWE. I admit I haven't decided yet what would be the best thing for her, if she should be included. But really should be released. She should be released. She just doesn't have the wow factor. She's not a very good technician in the ring. Actually, Velvet is actually a little better than Madison Rayne in the ring. And that's saying a lot for Velvet. Velvet is not a great wrestler. Yes, about a couple of weeks ago, she did a little bit of Japanese style wrestling, just a tiny little bit of chain wrestling. But that was only a brief thing. She doesn't do that often. I don't know, like I said in that Impact review, maybe she spoke to Al Snow about it. I'm hoping that you understand that she really isn't that good here. So she has to be released in this situation. Now, the people that also are on the roster, I'm going to keep, which will be Christy Hemme. She's perfect in her role as an announcer. I would like to think that maybe from time to time, and I will describe this in my next video, that she would go in the ring. And I'll explain the reasons why she would go. Taking away from any injury she actually has in real life, but I'm going to take it from that. Also, Terrell. I would do the same thing. I would have her stay as the ref because she is still eye candy. Men do like her. Women probably don't mind her because it's good to see that a female ref is there. We don't have that many refs that are female. She's one of the few that's prominently featured in nationwide television. She's the only one. It's still, unfortunately, a man's game when it comes to ref, and that actually is a very sad thing. I'm actually quite glad that they do have a female ref here. So I would have her stay, and from time to time she would wrestle. I will describe that in the next video, what I believe would be good. Now let's see if there's anyone else. Hendrix and SoCal Val. If I'm pronouncing her name, Val's name wrong, I'm sorry. I would keep these two women. They're not being featured, so there's no way of knowing if they're very good or not. They're not. If they're being featured on Explosion, there's no reason to even think they're being featured on Impact. You need to be featured on the A show, not the B. So I would keep these two. What I would do with them, I'll describe later. Now, the people I'm going to talk about now, the people that I believe should be brought into the roster that will give it total life. The first person I would bring in is Beth Phoenix. Yes, I would bring in Beth Phoenix. When Awesome Kong was in the Knockouts division, she dominated and made the division so interesting. It wasn't the fact that Awesome Kong was just a big-ass woman. She could move very well, and she had a type of charisma and a type of feel that just is impossible to ignore. She's actually still an incredibly pretty lady. She had a beautiful face. She may be a thick, large-ass woman, but she still had a body that most men would love. She could talk on the mic very well. She terrified the hell out of men because she's just a woman that you think is like an Amazon. Someone you just can't control. She's untamable. You can't keep her. You can't control her. She's just unobtainable, invulnerable. Someone like that. Beth Phoenix basically is that type of woman. She's a very strong woman. She has a feel that is just unobtainable, dominant when she's structured right, which I'll explain later about her. And right now, since she's been released and was screwed pretty badly by the WWE, she would do very well in TNA. The next person I would bring in is, and if I notice that I missed a couple of people in TNA, I'm going to include them as well. Don't worry, if there's a couple extra people I forgot, I'm going to include them at the end of this. But I'm saying the rest of the people from WWE that I'll bring in. Alicia Fox. Yes, I bring in the mix Fox. I would bring in Alicia Fox because, yes, she's not very good in the ring. No, she's not. She had a little skill. She doesn't have it. From what I could tell, she wasn't too bad of a talker when they used to let her talk, particularly in NXT. She could talk somewhat well. So I would bring her in. And I would bring her in as a knockout. What I would do with her later, I'll describe later. But Alicia Fox should be brought in because it would give more of a variety. We don't have that many black women in wrestling, particularly in TNA. There's no black women. We have one Native American woman, which is Mickie Jane. We have one Puerto Rican, two Puerto Ricans, my mistake. We have two Puerto Ricans, who is Tara, and Miss Tessmacher. But where are the black women? Miss Jackie was the last person who was black, and where has she gone? She's gone since ODB has been there. She stayed for a while, now she's gone. So I would bring in a Miss Alicia Fox. The last person I would bring in, and maybe I might add an extra person in the next subsequent video and describe why and what I do with her. But the last person I would bring in, and who really is needed, not just because she's a good looking woman, she's not ugly, she's good looking. Not only could she talk decently well, not great, but decently well, she's good in the ring, definitely good in the ring. And this is Natalya. Natalya was a very good wrestler for WWE, and right now she still is, but she's not utilized, she's not used. Zero use. Zero. I feel sorry for Natalya. Many things could have been done with her, and you know what? I just don't see it for her there. I bring her in and say, look, your dad would love it that you come to a place that you be seen and that you be experienced. I will give you a storyline. I make sure you're prominently featured and you're taken care of. I would bring her in. She would be the best person to bring in, and I would want her to be brought in. Now, I'm making sure I didn't forget. I think I forgot someone. Yes, there was one person I didn't mention here that is from TNA right now, and that is Brooke Hogan. Now, I'm sure many people say, wait a minute, you're trying to say you want to get Hulk Hogan's daughter into the Knockouts? Yes. Brooke Hogan should be considered for the Knockouts. I know you would be thinking, are you fucking crazy? No. This is the reason. One, Brooke Hogan's not a small woman. Even without heels, she's almost 6 foot tall. She's a big woman. If you see her next to Bully Ray, when she's in her heels, she's practically his height. Without the heels, maybe she's about 4 inches shorter. But this is a big ass woman. This woman is not built skinny and weak. Brooke Hogan is a thick woman with some hips on her ass. She has the look that looks like she could actually be something. I said this when I first saw her. I said that she looks like Valeria from the original movie of Arnold Schwarzenegger that really skyrocketed him to stardom, Conan the Barbarian. She had that look of a warrior chick. She has that look. She does have that look. She would become a knockout. Does not mean she would be utilized often. It would be better to bring in someone who could give something different. Now, Brooke has been there for nearly more than a year and a half now. I would make sure she at least once or twice gets in the ring. Also make sure that she wouldn't hurt herself before she gets in that ring, so I make sure she get taught. The seeing her in there, wrestling a little bit, would go on with the legacy of Hulk Hogan. And because Hulk Hogan's son, since his traffic problems, pretty much he was in a car accident. He had a bad problem when it came to the law because of it, and he's still dealing with it. So really, there's no legacy for Hulk Hogan to get in the ring. His son is not doing it, as far as I know. Someone leave me a comment below if Hulk Hogan's son is actually doing any wrestling or anything in the promotion. As far as I know, he's not. But since Brooke is in a promotion with her father, who says she can't be a knockout briefly or from time to time get in the ring? Nothing is wrong with it. So I would explain what would give the reason for her to get in the ring. But these are the women that I would bring in. And I may actually make a list in my description box of the ones that I would keep, the ones that I would get rid of, and the ones I would bring in. So I hope you enjoy this debate of the week, the first of many series on the divisions of TNA and WWE, what I will do with them. Subscribe and comment to Zane's View. I hope you enjoy this. Now, if you have any ideas of who else I should include, leave a comment below, and I'll really try to do some more research on that person to think what I would do with them, who should I add them to this list and describe them in the next one. Tell me what you think, and have a good night.